Hello and welcome to our look at which cruise line is better, Celebrity or Norwegian. We recently sailed with both Celebrity Cruises and the Norwegian Cruise Line just a few weeks apart, and that gave us a great opportunity to compare and contrast the two. We have also sailed with both lines on more than one occasion, including sailing on a mix of their newest and biggest ships and their oldest and smallest ships, so we have experience of what they offer across the board. There is lots that we enjoy about both cruise lines, and some things we don't like, as is the case with everything in life. But just which cruise line is the most suited to our way of cruising, and which is the best, Celebrity Cruises or Norwegian Cruise Line? To answer that question, we will look at what we believe make up a cruise experience, including the pre-cruise, check-in, entertainment, the onboard experience, food and drink, itineraries, and the value of your cruise. As ever, don't forget to like and subscribe, and why not leave a comment below and tell us which is your favourite cruise line. My name is Darren, and this is our look at which is the best cruise line, Celebrity or Norwegian. This is something that isn't particularly close, as we are yet to have any issues with Celebrity, whilst we continue to have problems with the landside operation of Norwegian. Celebrity's website and app makes it easy to sort out everything that you need to do, including pre-purchasing any packages and excursions that you want, and booking things such as tables in pay or free restaurants. The line also makes it easy to do all your pre-cruise requirements, such as making final payment, picking your check-in time, and completing your paperwork. Many people watching this may think, well yes, that's surely standard across everyone, but sadly that just isn't the case, and one line we have had numerous issues with is Norwegian. In the past, we have had issues trying to change a room and sorting out check-in times, but on our last cruise we had issues with just about every aspect of the pre-cruise experience. To start with, we couldn't actually book the cruise due to an error on the NCL website, and then struggled to book via phone. We then couldn't book any excursions without difficulty, and even trying to pay for the cruise was a struggle. So, for this one, it isn't really close, and we give the upvote to Celebrity. This is something that is often out of the control of the cruise line itself, as much of the check-in process is down to the port you depart from. But there is lots that the line can control, and for us, it has been in those bits that the main differences have appeared. We have cruised from Seattle, Reykjavik and Southampton across our cruises with the two lines, and have had a decent experience at each. Things were chaotic in Seattle, but that was down to the poor organisation of the Port Authority themselves, so we cannot hold out against NCL. As most will know, the check-in process is split into two parts when cruising, pre-check-in and check-in. With the check-in process arguably equally as good for both lines, it really comes down to the pre-check-in for both, and with us having the aforementioned issues with both the NCL website and app for pre-check-in, and with how easy the process has been for Celebrity, this is another one that we will have to give to Celebrity. Whilst not exactly check-in related, a special mention should also be made about the fact that Celebrity allows you to go to your room as soon as you step on board to drop off your carry-on luggage, whilst NCL requires you to walk around the ship with it until your room is ready. When it comes to comparing entertainment, it is incredibly difficult as it often depends on the ship you are sailing on rather than the line, and nowhere is that better highlighted than with NCL. Norwegian can offer some of the best entertainment out there, and we were fortunate enough to experience that on board the Norwegian Bliss. They have also made a lot of cutbacks in this area, and during our last cruise with them, on board Norwegian Prima, we were less than impressed. Norwegian must be one of the cruise lines with the widest differences in their entertainment offering, with their newer ships offering West End style full productions to go with comedians and singers that perform in the theatre and around the ship, while their smaller ships offer a more traditional experience with guest performers and in-house performances, offering shows in the main theatre as well as around the ship. One big issue we had on our last journey was a lack of organisation in the entertainment on offer, where we weren't told who would be performing where and when until the night before, which made it difficult to arrange around other plans. The quality of any particular performer is a highly subjective thing, so we won't use that for comparison. But one thing we have found on Celebrity is that they offer a lot more variety. With NCL, you tend to only have a couple of different acts that stay with your ship and put on many different shows throughout your getaway. But with Celebrity we have found that alongside the house act, they have a big rotation of guest acts, so you can see a different one almost every night. With them, you also have a set time for acts happening around the ship, such as 7 and 9 PM in the theatre, and all of the performances for the week are available from day one on the app, so you can plan your time accordingly. They also have more variety in the shows, and whilst they don't offer the big West End style ones that we love, we have found the overall experience when it comes to entertainment is much more to our style on Celebrity than NCL, so they get the upvote for this one. The onboard experience can come down to many different things, including the ship you are sailing on, the length of your journey, and where you are sailing, and that makes it something else that is difficult to compare. Thankfully, there are many things that stay the same across the line's fleet, and we have also sailed on a variety of ships in similar areas. Celebrity is a more premium line when compared to NCL, but there are actually a lot more similarities than differences. It is of course those differences that really make the difference to the experience cruisers have whilst on holiday. NCL have a more relaxed attitude towards clothing restrictions, as aside from the couple of specialty restaurants, you can wear what you like in bars and restaurants, aside from the usual things such as bathing suits of course. They don't do things such as formal nights, but in many ways it's not much different to what you get on Celebrity, where you will find more people dressing up on a night, but also most will just dress the same as many do on some Norwegian, which is just like you would do when you go to your favourite bar or restaurant on land. Celebrity do have their own version of the formal night, called Evening Chic, which is based around dressing up for you, so unless you really want to, you can forget about the full suit and dicky bow, and think more about wearing your favourite shirt or your favourite dress. Another big difference you tend to find is the clientele on board Celebrity is slightly older, and things are more relaxed on an NCL ship, especially when you're sailing on the bigger ships, when you find a more family orientated clientele and a much busier experience. NCLs do like to promote themselves as being a line that lets you do what you want when you want, but our experience has often been far from that, as with a few thousand fellow cruisers also trying to do what they want when they want, you really need to plan and book ahead. Our experience on Celebrity has actually been much more like what NCL aim for, as we've known the times of things well in advance. You can tailor your days and nights around doing the things you want to do whilst on board. The more relaxed nature of the onboard experience with Celebrity, especially in places such as the buffet and outside decks, which can be chaotic at best on NCL, fits our way of doing things better. With all of that in mind, the onboard experience is something that we don't really have an issue with either line, but that we also tend to find the Celebrity experience suits me and my wife better, so we have to give them the upvote for this one as well. This is something that is important for us when sailing, as having the chance to enjoy a great meal and try new foods is all part of travelling for us. When it comes to this subject, it's arguably the one that is the most subjective, so this is just based on our own personal taste and preferences. Neither myself or my wife are alcohol drinkers, so this won't be based on things such as cocktails and spirits, and that does play a big part in our vote for this one. This is because of the Celebrity's Café Al Baccio, which is a tea room that features on all of their ships and offers a wide range of hot and cold drinks, served in a traditional tea room style, and whilst the drinks cost extra if you don't have a drinks package, there is also a wide range of cakes and pastries that are included for all. While some NCL ships do have a Starbucks, let's be honest and say it's not the greatest option, and the drinks are only included in more premium level drinks packages, or as a pay extra add-on. When we first started cruising with NCL, the food was decent, nothing more, nothing less, but it has continued to go downhill to where we often don't enjoy it. On our last cruise, the buffet was incredibly limited in terms of options and variety, and the food was incredibly bland. It should be noted, however, that the new indulged food hall on board the Prima class of ships is a great addition, and is the go-to place for a quick bite. The main dining room food on Norwegian has always been more gastropub level than a high-class restaurant level, and that has remained more consistent. As you would likely expect from a cruise line such as Celebrity, the dining experience can be a bit more upmarket, and the quality is certainly much higher. On shore days, we prefer to head to the buffet when back on board, and whilst it is often just an easier option on Norwegian, we can often enjoy the food in the Celebrity buffet, where they have special nights where they have local dishes on offer, and that really does add to the holiday. The MDR food on Celebrity is a higher standard than NCL, but one big difference we have noticed across all ships is when it comes to desserts. On NCL they are often bland and somewhat rubbery, whilst on Celebrity they're often delicious to the point of being dangerous, as you can't just stop with one. We have used specialty restaurants on a range of ships for both lines, and have had what can only be described as a mixed experience, with some great ones and sadly some really poor ones. With all of that in mind, this one really isn't too close for us, as Celebrity wins hands down when it comes to the food and drink offered on board. This is arguably the hardest category to differentiate the two lines, as when it comes to itineraries, they are just very similar. Both have a big fleet of ships, not just in terms of numbers, but in terms of the different sizes of the ships, and that gives them plenty of flexibility to offer cruises in most parts of the world. And thankfully, that is something both do a great job of utilising. Celebrity and NCL both offer plenty of sailings in key markets, such as the Caribbean and the Mediterranean, but both also offer itineraries for sailing in more remote places, such as the Arctic and even Antarctica. From a personal point of view, it is great to see them both offer itineraries out of the UK, which has included basing ships out of Southampton, and as we prefer sailing repositioning routes, both offer plenty of options there as well. Where the differences in the two lines does happen in our experience when it comes to their itineraries is the amount of time you get in port and the opportunities for overnight stays. Spending time exploring the ports we visit is the biggest part of a cruise holiday for us, so getting more time to experience is a huge plus, and with some destinations really coming alive on the night time, having the chance to explore day and night is great. Celebrity also don't tend to have as many wasted ports as NCL, who often include out-of-the-way ports close to nothing on itineraries as the fees are cheaper. With all that in mind, this is going to once again go to Celebrity Cruises, but this one really is so tight it tends to be mostly on where you want to cruise. That will make the difference. Deciding on whether a cruise is good value is a really difficult thing to do. If a cruise was incredibly cheap, but you only had an okay time, does that offer better value than a cruise where you had to save up for a year to book it, but then have the type of experience you will remember forever? For us, we would prefer to spend a little bit more and have a great experience, even if we had to save up that bit longer to be able to go on the cruise. The base cost of a Celebrity ship is often higher than an NCL one, but for us, you get so much more for your holiday, and you have a much better experience whilst away. Our last experience of sailing with NCL was a frustrating one. And lots of things with the line are just more difficult than they need to be, whilst our experience of Celebrity has been a much more straightforward one, and we can simply relax and enjoy the holiday more. That has a lot of value for us, as is the fact that you often get longer in port with Celebrity and more overnight stops to really make the most of the places you visit. It is the experience of those ports we visit that really makes for a special holiday, and whilst the extra time you often get with Celebrity is great, the line also doesn't have as many wasted ports, which is something we have experienced with NCL as they use ports such as Le Verdon. Whilst both can offer good value on some cruises and poor value on other cruises, overall, we feel that the Celebrity experience is a much better value in the main, so we'll give them the upvote for this one as well. So after picking up a clean sweep, it will come as no surprise that for us, Celebrity is the better cruise line when compared to the Norwegian Cruise Line. Despite winning every category, a lot of them are actually quite close, and on any given journey the experience may be different. But that is something else that works in the favour of Celebrity, as we find their product is much more consistent across the board. So all that remains to be said is thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed our comparison of the Celebrity and Norwegian Cruise Lines, and see you next time.